Hi, my name is Steph. If you'd like to come on in, have a seat for some symbolic support. We are going to scry this inkblot I have made in the muse of a message meant for you, should you find it in divine time. As well, we'll add on tarot and oracle to support, and where Mr. Ghost Gif is here kicking, we have GhostTube on for any audio additions that may further inspire or irritate. Overall, please do receive or release freely. So when you're ready, if you'd like to jump in on the reveal to start scrying for yourself, if you're on a phone, you might be able to zoom in. I'm going to take a moment to open up. You're welcome to join me, or you can fast forward through as the power is always with you. Taking a nice deep breath, closing the eyes, cleansing the palette of perception, releasing the race and the rush, activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support. I want you to go. In the name and honor of a multidimensional me, you message for all. Anytime, anyone. Thank you. All right. Let's dig in. Do you know what I'm seeing is I'm seeing a busy family. It feels like busy spirit family. There's a lot of spirits, different shapes. They've taken on different, almost like cone heads. If you've ever seen the movie Coneheads, it's like a regular family, but they just happen to have cone heads, or they were, or from that time in history as well. Maybe there's something, you have big thoughts. You're very intelligent, almost like genius-like. Did I mention we're going to be utilizing the Shaman's Palm configuration? Sorry, just to give you some insight there. Yeah, I just feel like I'm in a busy frequency family. I also see myself wearing sunglasses, but they're like those 80s sunglasses that have the slits right in about there. The magnolia tree and surprises, and this is in the cave of ice. So there might be a surprise like thawing in for you, or something. You might even surprise yourself. Hope, health, love, and happiness, and the promise of all that springtime brings. Maybe it's the spring. Or what is that? Real or meme? Surprise, surprise.
False.
Just relax. Ghost dude, relax. It was a joke. Okay, so I'm also seeing that show Sweet Tooth, where it's like a child is like half hybrid or half human, so a hybrid. And maybe that's why there's this busy family kind of feel. In whatever relation you might resonate with what hybrid means. Okay, so I blatantly just heard, in some cases, maybe you're like super smart, almost a genius. And in other ways, you just feel like a dummy sometimes. You're just like, I don't know. I don't know those things. I feel like that's okay to not know all the things. There's a bunch of books. There's a bunch of people and beautiful minds. You know what I mean? I don't know if there's some sort of pressure you might need to release as well, because I feel like I'm on a journey where something is it's not so much my responsibility, but I really definitely feel like I'm on a mission. Maybe I need to make room for surprises, because in this cloak, if somebody's hunting and they want to be in camouflage, so they might have like one of those blankets, or I don't know, I'm going to call it a blanket, but it has like leaves all over it, something along that lines. Maybe you're a quilter. Again, it's something that has this camouflage, but it depends on what you're camouflaging into, because it feels like security, and I'm observing from a safe space, but I've also created something that's very comforting. So if it's a quilt with a bunch of different patches on it, or something with your, like t-shirts, or I don't know, but it feels like fabric in one way, shape, or form, and it may have okay. Interesting.
Fight.
So you know what it feels like? It feels like when, if like your imagination runs wild and you get the heebie-jeebies, say like you're downstairs and you got to run upstairs to the bedroom, and then you start running, but as soon as you get into bed and under your blankets, you're safe. Like somehow that space, safe. And your blankets are made of spiritual steel, and nothing can, impede that space. That's what it makes me feel like. Just is what it is. Okay, let's keep going here. Because I'm seeing in this cloak
Undecided.
that there is butterflies, possibly bison. And what are you down there? I might need to get at the Scryacle. I feel like it's a little character that's like dancing, or it's a trickster of some sort. But give me a moment here, because I also have two sets of weapons. So this kind of makes me feel like this one looks like a wooden sword, and this one looks like a thinner, like fencing sword. One's metal, one's wood. One's earthly, one's more of the mind. Resourcefulness has come through. This is in the Cave of Winds. You're very smart. Very, very smart. But again, maybe there's just some things you're like, oh, maybe not. Maybe that's just how I'm feeling. The Tree of Life. The Baobab Tree. Your thirst for knowledge will be answered by mystic thoughts in your subconscious. And we were just talking about sleep. Comforts. I get into that safe place. If I get the, the creepy jeebies and I run upstairs and I make it in bed, safe. Nothing can affect me here. But then it goes, okay, so it's almost like it has to change. I don't want to say dimensions. What is that? Because then it's like, then you might it has to, whatever it is. And I'm saying maybe it's your own thought, maybe it's your own imagination, maybe it's your own ideas of things. And because it can't impede that security blanket of sorts, your camouflage, it goes in through dreams and dreams and such. Then we have here the Judas Tree of Seduction, and this is in your Cave of Hearth Fires. Your own passion may cause you suffering. Keep alert to what is not yet in sight. Danger can be avoided. This is what I kind of feel like we're talking about here. It's something that makes me feel creepy. But let not my imagination cause me to spiral. No, it doesn't have to be in that space. I'm just saying because it's not yet in sight, and it's making me feel like it could be in the subcon space there. And you might even have like maybe there's this sensation collectively or individually that there's a seductive vibe around what wants your attention, right? And not just your intention for entertainment or enjoyment or education, but kind of also in those things. Thank you. What's being inspired through those resources? As an example, education, entertainment, and environment. What's inspiring you? Is it inspiring? Okay, so I'm just going to say simplicity's sake. Good thoughts, good feels, or curious, or like, oh, I never thought about it that way. Good conversation, contemplative, merging information in minds. Or is it an environment that is seducing you to succumb to? You know what I'm saying? But you've got this genius thing going on. So, okay, I'm going to keep going in. And you've got dual, some of you might be like dual citizens of two different places at least.
Angel.
Anyway, sorry, you have dual sets of Cave of Feelings is vulnerability. Cave of Earth is fulfillment. Because I'm also down here, and what I'm seeing is the root space. And I'm seeing like a bunch of different characters wandering on up. Beneath your sword, if I may. Beneath your strength. They feel safe. Again, it's like you yourself might have these things. Whether it's a necklace, a blanket, a shirt, a pair of socks, a crystal. Whatever the case is, whatever is your confidence, what is that called? Why am I seeing that specifically? Oh, it's not an overcoat. Sports jacket, maybe? If you're going for job interviews and you want that. I feel like it was just on my blazer. Oy vey, blazer. So I don't want it to be only in this spiritual ethereal realm. This is also like this, it's all interconnected, right? Have those things. What are they being infused in? What does your infused blazer exude and inspire in maybe a job interview? And they don't even know it, right? But that's kind of the interesting thing. Some may not. But it's also the other way. What is seducing and inspiring you? Because you are important. The way you perceive things is powerful. What you generate just by existing is powerful, wanted, and desired. So just like when I was giving the example of, maybe it's a job you walk into or somebody else's home, and we can all create examples to, just wander with me if you'd like to imagine. And you just get that vibe, right? Fight or flight kind of comes in. Freeze, flight, or fight. And okay, so I do that. But how I'm feeling is with the cherry tree, it's vulnerable. So how do I want to respond to vulnerability? Every spring is a new beginning, bearing a multitude of budding possibilities. I want to know, in this cave of rivers, going to the cave of ice, and imagine the cave of ice in the pinky is de-thawing for the spring, surprise, surprise, to come into and becomes the cave of rivers, to become the river. It's vulnerable here.
Sell.
It feels vulnerable, but it brings a multitude of budding possibilities. So whatever this is in for you, maybe by going to that one job interview or 10 job interviews as the example, you learn more about how you wish to speak. Or I really wanted to mention this about myself, or I wanted to ask them questions. When they seem to have that in job interviews, do you have any questions for us? And you're like, don't worry about it. Have questions. Absolutely, I have a few questions. Absolutely. Dig in. And then in your cave of earth, I have here the mimosa tree of fulfillment. Well, first of all, maybe there's going to be some sort of celebration. Have a little mimosa. Might, activity, energy, and faithful enthusiasm bring the sure beauty of your objective. For some reason, I feel like this is in relation to some sort of job, career, purpose, some sort of opportunity. It could, in one way or respect, regard, be in the tangible realm, going up old school, door to door. Hi, I really like your shop. Would you like to sell my art here? Knocking on the doors of YouTube or of Instagram posts and commenting, or whatever the case is. Come and knock at my door. You're fulfilling your part of the bargain of being interested. Releasing the control, whether they hire you or have time. And, we never know what's going on the other side of things. But surprise, surprise, I think you're going to whatever this opportunity is. Also, if it's in regards to the subconscious or afterlife or spirit realm, subconscious space of sorts, or the supernatural or super conscious, you're aware that what might be coming in as an enhancement or a little scary spice or a little spooky. I don't like scary, but spooky's okay. When those moments are arising and you reach your safe space, right? You run up to the bed and you're like, okay, I'm safe. That's the moment to reset and establish something. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's establish communication if you want, or create a mantra or an intention before you go to sleep so it happens in the dream world. And then you follow up and fulfill your request or intention by noting things down, or when you wake up, whatever dream symbols. Do you know what I'm saying? But something's being fulfilled. On the other hand, I also want to note that there might be a select few of you or some of you that are wondering if you're on purpose, on track. Because I feel as though, okay, sorry, dreams just came through as well. Because I feel as though it's like this constant question of some way, shape, or form. And the way I just heard it is that you avoided being seduced by any dangers. So whatever the path is that you're choosing to pursue, it's not some final destination of purpose and destiny and fate. You have made the choice. Yes, it is avoided now. The heartbreak, the hurt, the this, that, or the other, fight, flight, or freeze.
Pathetic.
You've made a decision to not feel a certain way or pursue something a certain way. And it's vulnerable. It's vulnerable. But you fulfilled it. Dreams has come up just to support that whole subconscious space or communicating in the dreams. And the passions, the fire is also there. I also want to note there's something about, how do I say? There's something about noticing, even within the self, first and foremost, is how seductive people are, energies, yourself, your heart. When people are in passion, when you're in your passion, it's almost naturally seductive. Now, I know there's like a myriad of personality types, behaviors that can, be slapped on, just like that patch, the shirt, elbow patches, the sweater, the camouflage. And while your passion might be camouflaged, it's still felt in the subtle spaces until you decide, or an energy air about you of confidence in your talent comes through. And again, when I say talent, this isn't like tip-top talent. It's just your willingness to move, even in stillness. Do you know what I mean? We also have here spirit guide. Somebody's spirit guide is absolutely coming through their dreams. Somebody's spirit guide, this could be a person. This could be a person. Says, look. Sorry, the ghost tube said, look. It's funny sometimes when it says like pathetic, and it says it so loud. And then other times when it's saying something not so spicy, I have to look at it. Look for signs for your spirit guide. They're probably somewhere in that ignites your passion, your interest. It's like an interest, your inquiry, curiosity. You're stepping into fulfillment. Like, I'd like to check in a little bit more about them. Maybe this company, or, dream analyzing, and not necessarily basing everything on everyone else's dream dictionary, but maybe you're creating your own dream dictionary. Lighten your load. Interesting. Okay, so the spirit guide is bringing in this air, this feel. Because even in the context of this conversation, it's like, let's say I'm focused, like this is how I'm feeling. So I'm going to try and help you, follow me as best you can.
No.
Got the whole world on the weight of the world on your back, the physical world, the weights and responsibilities. And like I said, it's like all those layers, even though your third eye, your hands of gratitude, spirit, it's all here. This is what I'm focused on. But by being focused here, the weight of like the earthly expression of it all feels heavy. And it's almost like I want to take this feeling and overlay it there. I wonder if I said that well.
Peaceful.
Is it just peace? Is it feeling peace? Closing out messages. We have coming apart, the comedy and tragedy of it all, I suppose. We've been talking about education. Protecting treasure. We'll take one more. Storm fields. If those cards mean anything to you, you know the drill. I don't even know if I said please do like, share, and subscribe, but if you haven't already, thank you so much. I appreciate you, and you warm my haunted heart for sticking with me through the surreal storytelling. I feel you. I feel you. So there could be something in your education system, and whatever that means to you, you know, wherever that is, and it seems to be coming apart. It seems to be coming apart because a dream and a passion's being inserted into it. And it's not coming apart necessarily in the earthly way we could understand it. But I also know there's this paralleling story that some of you are tuning into right now about that, about this education and Stormfield and coming apart. I'm going to leave that there. If that's something that you have the knowing, then you have the knowing of what that story is. I'm not trying to be cryptic or rude. It comes back into that seduction. Someone and there's an energy that's very talented at seducing. It's like forgetting that fairy tales and what your imagination, it's like forgetting the power of your perception, what you can conceive of, what you can breathe life into. And it's like the seams of history in some way, shape, or form. And I'm not poo-pooing, but the seams could be coming apart maybe to enhance the blanket, right? Or maybe when you gotta, I'm not a seamstress of sorts, but you gotta tuck things in or make space in the pants, and you do that thing. I don't know what it's called, but you know what I mean? Sometimes when something's coming apart or changing, it's an educational experience to really show and reveal what is treasure to you, what your talent is in some cases, and will help you lighten the load by kind of clearing out and what you wish to engage in. Because with this wife and engagement card, now maybe you've been through, maybe you learned something about yourself, a partner, a spouse, and a relationship is being released. But it's like through that education, anger, seductive, you've learned something of what is really meaningful to you and what you want to commit to, what you wish to engage in moving forward. Does that make sense? I feel like it is. Crown, success, pride, horse, freedom, action. I'm going to leave that there. If anything is standing out to you, heart is on the bottom. I want to thank you so much for being here. Whoever has made it here, anyone at any time, your aura is incredible. And I thank you for following through the surreal stories and the messages, connecting your own dots, and always holding this space for me to share my insights. I am truly grateful, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye. Gratitude, gratitude. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude.
Please